Art stimulates the mind. It encourages creativity, growth, and expands human interest. With an art program in schools, students can enjoy an enriching experience. However, art programs are at risk. Their place in education is generally viewed as supplemental, not crucial.
Actually, if you think about all the great minds, if you look at the Greeks, if you look at the Renaissance, they talked about that link between art and science, math and art, that you can't separate them, that they're one and the same. And the same way of looking at things in observation for science is a lot of the same way that you look at things in terms of the world in art.
In a 2012 article for the Art Education Journal, Morgan Green writes that with an exceptional art teacher, students find it possible to participate in art projects that bring art to the foreground of their core academic subjects. Math, history, and literature are recognized as core skills, and this perspective has credibility. Education in these arenas offer unlimited potential and an expansive array of career opportunities. There would be no bridges without engineers and no records without historians. Yet there would also be no culture without artists.
I think education gets in trouble when you start to say, there's this topic and this topic and this topic and this topic, rather than these work collectively together. If you look at, again, some of the great philosophers, they all understood that. Why do we not understand that anymore?
James and Marjorie Beckett, on staff at the Science Museum of Minnesota, have found a clever way of voicing their concern for the arts in education. In education jargon, STEM, S-T-E-M, represents the core values of the system: science, technology, engineering, and math. The Becketts instead opt to use their own version, STEAM, S-T-E-A-M. In their new acronym, art finds a place between engineering and math. The pair argue that art educators have a responsibility to introduce and defend their discipline in this context as another important letter in the equation.
If students find ways that they can express their ideas, that they can think outside of what's been dictated to them as the norm, then they're going to be much better at solving problems, whether it's a mathematical problem, an economics problem, a global, environmental issue. If they're able to understand problem solving and creative problem solving, then they can they're going to be better at identifying problems, getting to the essence of the idea, and then trying to find creative, interesting solutions to those problems.
Budget cuts and downsizing are the enemies of art education. Due to their abstract application in contrast to the physical application of the sciences, art is viewed as less valuable.
Well, that's where creative problem solving comes into play, because I've taught young kids before in areas where there was no funding. And so you go around, you ask for donations, you let them know that they will get a letter that says they've donated whatever, so they're like, yay, tax write-off, and have gotten pieces of mirror, pieces of excess paper. There's a lot of stuff out there, but you have to be willing to put the hours in and the footwork in to get the materials.
It's a transfer of ideas. Art education can supply students with a learning environment unlike that of other standard subjects. In art classes, learning is both practical and abstract. These classes explore themes of clarification and the implementation of creativity. Without art classes, students don't have this opportunity.
If we take away things where we encourage them to come up with their own solutions, then we don't equip them to be able to do that. And I've seen this happen with kids more and more, where they're looking for an answer. You can ask them, what color is this? And they're afraid because they think they might say the wrong thing. Rather than throw your ideas out there, right? Where we can discuss, well, why did you think it was this? And why did you think it was this? So if we take that away, we're really undermining. It's like saying, I'm going to take away one of your legs, and I want you to dance. It's going to be a lot harder, right? We have to give them as much as we can, as much experiences that build their confidence and their ability to think and to solve problems. And if we take something away that's the basis for that, then I think we're asking for a lot of trouble. We're going to produce a lot more consumers than we are producers. You know, less idea generators, less people that are going to change the world and make it better. Rather, we're going to have people that are go, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And those aren't the people that are going to be able to lead the world or the country, especially with all the different issues that are coming up. We need people that can start to think about ideas and say, okay, what can I do to change things? And that aren't afraid to change. It takes confidence. And I think the arts are one thing that encourages and helps build that.
As schools construct their programs, art must be included, or else the institution risks their promise of a complete and thorough education.
With my brother and my sister standing by. With my brother and my sister standing